Hello, I hope you're doing well. My name is Caro. I am a visual artist from Peru based in the Hudson Valley, and I've come to realize that it's been over a year since the last time that I shared one video sharing a week in my life as a visual artist. So that's what I'm doing here today. Today is Monday, and I want to bring you along into all the different things that I do as a full-time artist. I've been a full-time artist for the past 5 years, and it's been decades since I've been creating and making art part-time, full-time, all the times. And today's video is a little bit of all the different things that I do as an artist in my day-to-day life. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. So today is Monday, and usually Mondays and Fridays are the days that I love to do logistic stuff, which means sitting down in my computer, answering emails, getting clear on what I will be doing on my week. My weeks don't usually are Monday to Friday because my husband works in the restaurant industry. Usually our weekends are Tuesday to Wednesday. But lately things have been a little chaotic and moving around. So this week, my work week is actually Monday to Friday. So perfect time to share this with you. So today I'm doing a lot of computer work, logistic stuff, and I'm also getting ready for a few different things that I have planned out for this week. So come on with me. Welcome to my studio. There is space for everybody. All of you, welcome in. We'll make space for everybody. I always start my week by writing down everything I have to do. I have a general weekly to-do list, as well as a list for what I'd like to achieve each specific day. This helps me so much in organizing my time and also not forgetting things or feeling overwhelmed. As an artist, I get to wear many hats in my job, and without writing them down, it could be easier for me to forget what and when I have to do it. I also like to start my week by doing as much computer work as I can. From answering emails to editing videos, this helps me keep the logistical side of art making on one side and then fully tune into creative mode, offline and going within. Realistically, there's a lot of logistic stuff that goes into everything I do, and I wanted to highlight this on today's video as it isn't all painting and having fun, but I believe I am learning to have fun on the brainy side of art making as well. The way I use watercolors in my personal practice is quite different of the traditional ways watercolors are meant to be used. And as I am now teaching some basic watercolor classes, it is very important for me to revisit and relearn watercolor basics so I can offer the best advice to my students. I've been having so much fun taking these floral watercolor classes, and I love creating something very separate from my personal projects and the personal way I approach watercolors. As an artist, I feel that sometimes within our creativity, it can be easy to fall into a routine and not have that curious mindset that got us started in the first place. So part of my summer plans include just revisiting all the type of artwork that I'm currently doing and the classes that I'm offering. So part of it has included taking a couple of Skillshare classes in order to revisit and get curious about the watercolor classes that I currently offer at Wildflower Farms Hotel. So this brings me to say thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, and I've been using this platform for the past almost 7 years, and I cannot recommend them enough. What I love about them is that they offer thousands of creative classes in countless of categories. Some examples are illustration, photography, animation, entrepreneurship, and so much more. I love that their platform is on demand so members can learn at their own pace, and I learned that their approach to teaching is learning by doing. The classes that I've been loving lately are loose watercolor florals and loose watercolor leaves with watercolors by Ana Victoria Calderon, who is actually one of my friends and teachers. Skillshare and I are partnering up to offer the first 500 people to use the first link on this video's description 1 month free on their platform. Thank you once again, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video. Hello, welcome to my studio. It is Tuesday. I'm wondering if anyone else has not been able to put down Billie Eilish's new album, Hit Me Hard and Soft. So today I will be spending a lot of time outdoors. I am teaching watercolor class and I'm going to a few locations to do a bunch of work-related things and also get some nutritious food. But before doing that, I am recording my monthly Patreon podcast. I pretty much do a summary of my whole month in the studio and share happiness and challenges that came along the way. Before doing my podcast, I always sit down and take notes on what is it that I'll be sharing with my Patreons, and I feel this is such a good exercise. I've been doing my Patreon podcast for, I believe, 2 years, and it's so much fun to really take a moment. I play some music and just write down what I did the whole month, work-wise and human life-wise, and you don't have to record a podcast to do this, but I think this is such a beautiful recap to see all the little steps that we're doing that actually sum up. So one way that I go about it is I take a lot of photos on my phone. So I just look through all the photos that I took that month to remember what I did. Or I am also a heavy user of my calendars app. So I just go to my calendars and see all the appointments and things that I wrote down that I had to do. I also check out my daily planner, and it's so beautiful to see all the things that I've made in the month that sometimes I forget. So inviting you to do that in case that resonates. So I'll be recording the podcast and then getting all my stuff ready in order to go to teach my watercolor class and be outdoors for most of the day. It's so sunny and warm today, so I think it's going to be one of those days that you're doing so much outdoors that you almost become delusional. So enough talking, let's get into doing. Hola mis Patreons, welcome to our monthly podcast for June. I hope you're doing well. On Tuesdays, I teach a nature with watercolor class in Gardiner, a town nearby to where I live. We first do some basic watercolor techniques, and then we paint different leaves and flowers until we create our own greeting card design. I love teaching this class this time of the year as I get to pick wildflowers as inspiration for the classes. I just finished my class at Wildflower Farms. Today I had 5 students and we worked on some leaves and flowers, and it's been so beautiful to teach here. I started when it was still winter and everything was dry, and now it's so beautiful to see it also lush. And right now I'm gonna head to Hudson Valley at Acord. They have a farm there and they are the seed company for the one I'm doing one of their seed labels. I'm working on a plant called Clipdaga, and I'm gonna go pick up some seedlings from Clipdaga and also some dried parts of the plant that they have for me to look under the microscope, so then I can include those in the label. And after that I'm stopping at a farm to pick up some milk and some stuff for my cooking and home, and we are under a heat wave. Yeah, that's today. After class, I went to Hudson Valley Seeds HQ to pick up some seedlings and get a tour of the space. I also got to see some original paintings for their packagings. Afterwards, I stopped by my local farm to pick up some milk and then headed back home at the end of the day. ¡Hola, nenas! Today I have a painting kind of day. I am working on a commission piece for a brand of seeds, Hudson Valley Seeds, and I'm working on this painting in order for me to not only submit my work, but for my work to be approved to be the packaging for the seed packaging. I needed to work on a very in detailed sketch, and I never do that in my personal practice. So I did that sketch digitally, and then I printed that digital sketch on the size of the actual painting. And then I used some trace paper in order to trace down the whole painting, and used some carbon paper in order to pass it here. And today I will be working on that. I should be done with these by the end of the week, so I can scan it, do some digital adjustments, and send it to the seed company, because the deadline is July 1st, which is next Monday. And it was so fun to work on a new way of making art, because as I was saying, this is not the way in the one I work at all. So this was very fun, and today I will be working on that. And I would also love to see some sections of this plant under the microscope, but we'll see if I get time for that. And I will be making a whole other video about this commission, because I want to show you how I make a painting from painting to actual finished product when working with a brand, but that will be a whole other video. Let's get into doing stuff. Nowadays, I rarely do commission paintings, but there are some projects that really catch my attention, and I try my best to fit them in my schedule. As you may know, I am a very slow painter, as my paintings have so many details. So it is hard to work on commission paintings on top of those. But when I get to work on them, I love it. For this one, as the main use of this painting won't be the painting itself, but rather it's going to be used and turned into a packaging, I am not only using my mineral and earth watercolors, but also my regular Arteza old watercolor pans, as well as some gouache. This commission is of Clipdaga flower, and I love the fact that I have 2 of these flowers growing outside. It is such a game changer to be able to see what you are painting IRL. Microscopes play a big part of my artistic process, as I love observing plants and mushrooms under the microscope to then include them in my paintings. It's sort of a naked eye plus microscopic look combo that I end up portraying on my paintings. Today is Thursday, and I'm starting my day outdoors. This is my favorite river in town, and a bunch to do today, but a little moment to be out here in the morning is the perfect way to start the day always. After the creek, I sat down in meditation with a cup of cacao to get ready for the cacao circle I was going to be holding that night. Mornings alone with a cup of plants is honestly one of my favorite ways to get clear on what it is that wants to come forth in any upcoming circle or space I am holding. It is Thursday, and today I received my new artist proofs for the pollinator painting. I ordered my first round 2 weeks ago, but they turned out to be a little bit too saturated, and I truly want the colors to be as similar as the colors on the original painting. So let's see how these ones turns out. This time around I ordered 2 sizes, so I will be offering the prints in different sizes. I've come to realize that that's what more folks want. So the biggest one will be 26 by 26, then I'll have a 20 by 20 and maybe a 12 by 12, but I'm still thinking about that third size. So here are the prints. These are the 20 by 20 inches size. I am using Entrada Rack Natural paper. It's one of my favorite papers for printing. Is 100% made out of cotton, no acid, no liners. It's perfect for archival. And the size I think is so sweet. This one's 20 by 20 with a 1/2 inch border to each side. And the colors are actually very similar to the original painting. I'll show you that in a minute, and I also made this bigger size, which is 26 by 26. It's almost the original size of the painting. So here we have the original painting, and this is the print. I don't know if you can actually see within the video, but the colors are super similar. The palette is the same. It's the same type of saturation. My paintings are generally a little bit pastel and not that saturated because I work with white on everything. So this one actually is the one. This is my second time doing artist proofs for this print, and I'm excited with how they turned out. I did some photos and videos, both for the product I was going to include on my web shop, as well as to share in my newsletter and social media platforms. It really helps me to have all my content ready before a release date, so then I am not running around trying to make everything happen in the last second. And in case you're wondering, I use the Tessa app and also Lightroom on my phone to edit both photos and videos. The amount of sun that comes into my studio at this time of day on sunny days is wild. It's 6 p.m. and the sun just dies in this side of my studio, and I just changed clothes, as you may notice, and now I am switching gears because I just finished my workday and now I am transitioning into virtual space. Today I am holding our second virtual container for Susurros del Corazón, which is my 21-day virtual container in Spanish, sharing meditation and cacao. And today is my favorite ceremony of our whole container because on the second circle of cacao, which is today, I share a plant meditation in the one we connect with the spirit of cacao, and then we go on a sound journey. It's very similar to the experience that I hold when I do a plant meditation with cacao in person. And I'm excited because this time around, I'm not doing the sound, but an amazing sound healer from Peru, Orieta Crem, is doing the sound virtually. And I've done sound sessions with her through Zoom, and I know how beautiful it sounds. I'm excited to, for the first time, be including someone else sharing the container in Whispers of the Heart and Susurros del Corazón. I'm switching gears for that. I will be transforming my studio into a little meditation cacao circle for tonight. And then I've also realized that I haven't filmed any cooking or eating these past few days. I'm eating my 3 meals a day, but it's honestly so much to film everything that I do in my studio that then filming my cooking would make each day be like 20-hour days. And I would just take forever doing everything. And also my kitchen is a disaster right now. So you wouldn't want to see that. I would love to make a whole week of my meals video. If that's something that interests you, let me know. But now I have to go because I need to get ready for our Susurros del Corazón. It is Friday, and this evening I am co-hosting or being a guest at Mushroom Church, which is a project by Trunayar from Modern Biology, and the other co-guest host is John Michelotti from Catskill Fungi, and we will first go on a foraging experience to find some mushrooms, and then we will be doing Mushroom Church, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's at Maverick Concerts here in town, and we will be just sitting in ceremony, listening to music made with mushrooms that Tarun makes with his synthesizers. And I'm just sharing an Caro, and I'm sharing a gratitude giving to nature, and also both John and I will be sharing some of our favorite book passages and poems, and it's just an invitation for people to slow down and tune into the literal frequencies of nature. But there's so much that I'm doing today. Before that, this morning I went to look at 2 of the spots that I know where I can find turkey tail, chanterelles, and chicken of the woods. No chanterelles yet, no turkey tail just yet, and chicken of the woods, lots of chicken of the woods I found. So I got like a fourth of the amount of chicken of the woods that I saw, and I took a little so we can listen to the music that it makes later today. But before that, I'm packing orders and hopefully also painting a little. And I don't know about you, but I feel there's like 2 types of people in the world. That ones that feel this urgent need to wear their new clothes as soon as they arrive. And I feel there's also a type of people out there that they plan the outfit that they're going to wear for certain occasions. And I'm that type of person. So as soon as a new piece of clothing arrives, I want to wear that all day, every day. And also I plan my outfit. So thinking of it so silly, but it's so true. Maybe some of you might relate to this. So this dress that I was gifted by one of my favorite brands, Christy Dawn, is arriving today. And all day I've been thinking like, will it arrive before I leave? Because I want to wear that for Mushroom Church. So hopefully it'll be here. But that's my day, so much to do, and also cleaned a lot because my house has been a filth for so long. So I did a little cleaning this morning, and now it's time to get to work. You think you're going to start your work day maybe at 8 a.m. and then it's 11:30 and you're still dealing with so much more that has nothing to do with the deadline that you have. But that's how it goes. Or maybe I'm just too naive of how long things will take. But let's go get some stuff done. I usually pack orders once a week, My shop is small enough that I don't need extra hands for packing and shipping, as I usually ship in between none to 5 orders each week. Packing is one of my favorite parts of my art business, as I cannot believe that people I haven't met from different corners around the world want to have or gift a piece of my art to themselves or someone they love. It's been 5 years of doing this and it still blows my mind every time. Thank you so much to everyone who's ever supported me and my work. So I just printed my Venmo and some price lists for some stuff that I'm taking with me in case anyone wants to get some merch. So I got my sticker sheets, I got a few postcards, some stickers, and my dress arrived and I need to leave in 10 minutes. So let's go get everything ready. After arriving at our venue, we made a little merch table and then it was showtime. Tarun hooked up different types of mushrooms to synthesizers. John and I got to share a few excerpts from our favorite books and it was a very introspective night. I love that part of my job is collaborating with other artists and getting curious on how we can collaborate and create something together. I'm not used to mic, so bear with me. My name is Caro, I'm from Peru, and I would love to open up the space with an Ícaro. Welcome everybody to Mushroom Church.
Okay, this is not a cult, we swear.
To remember is to restore knowing. To recall. Thank you so much for tuning into a week in my life as a full-time artist. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you like my videos. I am also around on Patreon and Instagram. Thank you so much Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Remember, we are gifting the first 500 people to use my link 1 month free of the Skillshare platform. Until I see you next time, bye!